Hello everyone, this is Doug Jankowski with the Grizzled Geek with another Sentinels of the Multiverse video for you. Today I'm going to look at what I deem my super team. This is, in my opinion, I've done a lot of variations and stuff. This is, in my opinion, probably the best team you can put together. I have very little trouble taking on almost any villain with this, with the possible exception of the Ultimate Edition of Cosmic Omnitron. He's rather difficult to do with anybody, but anyways, let's go ahead and look at the team itself. Here's the basic heroes. As we go here, some of the people I'm going to put on this team are variants, and I'll explain to you why I use each variant and the order I place my team in as well, because that's important. So I'm going to start with Legacy, but I'm not going to use America's Finest Legacy. I'm actually going to use America's Greatest Legacy. This is the World War II version, I think. So he's got a great power. He uses his power and lets one other hero regain a hit point and use their power, or use a power that they have, and doesn't even have to be the one on their card. So he's my first choice. Second is going to be Team Leader Tachyon. Team Leader Tachyon has maybe the best power in the game, and that is every player on your team draws a card. This allows you to pretty much be able to do anything you need to do with your team. After just a couple of rounds, everybody will have plenty of cards to do what they need to do. And when you combine that with Legacy's ability, he can have her draw on his turn, or have everybody draw on his turn. Then everybody draws on her turn. And then, as we'll see later, I'm going to use a version of Fanatic that will let us do that all again. So now the next person we're going to go with is the Scholar. The Scholar is a great support character. He can soak up a lot of damage for the team. He can do some healing for the team. He's got ability to make some of the villains not deal damage. He's got a lot of cool abilities. So he'll be in third place. Next, we're going to go with the Sentinels, and we're going to go with their basic version, not the variant, because they've got a lot of healing abilities. That's why they're going to be on the team, primarily for their healing ability, but they've got a lot of damage everybody abilities, have the villains damage people, so they've got a lot of cool abilities, so as we'll see here when we get the game going. And then finally, like I said, I'm going to use a version of Fanatic. We're going to use Prime Warden's Fanatic. Prime Warden's Fanatic's ability is for her to deal herself 3 radiant damage and play the top card of her deck, and then you have another player use a power. And as you'll see when we play that, that is have America's Greatest Legacy use his power to have somebody else heal and use their power. So it's a good chain. So there we go. For those of you who haven't played Fanatic, she actually wants to take damage because she's got one card that allows her to do a massive amount of damage if she's taken a bunch of damage. So hopefully we'll get to play that and you'll see how that works. Alright, so let's randomize. I'm going to use a team here. Randomize. Rook City, probably the worst environment to play in. Because this is my super team, we're going to do everybody on advanced. A few of these characters, including Fright Train, we can actually up these to the Ultimate Edition, which is going to use both their advanced and their challenge. Then we'll do the same with Baron Blade, which is he's really tough. His device cards having damage reduction by 2 is nasty. And then finally Ermine is going to go Ultimate Edition as well. So let's see how this goes. Alright, before we get this fight started, let's go ahead and take a look at the abilities of the various villains and discuss a little bit of the strategy that I'm going to use here. So first off, Fright Train, he's pretty nasty and is a pure damage dealer. And with his advanced ability, he's going to do extra damage. He's also got Engine of Destruction, which has him do extra damage. So his base ability at the end of his turn is to deal somebody 5 points of damage. Pretty bad. However, Engine of Destruction also makes it so the first damage dealt against him is +1, so he'll take extra damage. He's actually probably not going to be much of a problem for very long, because his challenge ability is, as long as Fright Train is a target, all hero damage is going to go to Fright Train. So the first round or two, I'm not going to be able to deal any damage to anybody else. It's all going to go to Fright Train. Now, the nice thing about that includes any damage that the heroes do to themselves. So, for example, Fanatic using her power, deal herself 3 damage, and then do all of the things she does, is going to be directed to Fright Train. So I'm going to get a free use or 2 of that. So that'll be cool. So then let's go ahead and look at the next. Greaser he's cool. He's kind of a Lobo type bounty hunter. Got his little pompadour there, which is actually a card. His impeccable pompadour. If somebody hurts it, it deals them damage back, which is kind of funny. Greaser is going to select one of the characters. I believe it's going to be, I think it's the highest character with the highest hit points. Yeah, so it'll be Legacy will be his nemesis and his bounty. If Legacy ever gets KO'd, Greaser leaves too. He's finished his bounty and he takes off. Otherwise, he deals that target 2 energy damage, but because they'll be his nemesis, it actually will be 3. His advanced ability is whenever Greaser deals damage to a hero character, that hero has to discard a card, destroy one of their ongoing equipment cards, or deal themselves 1 psychic damage. The nice thing about that is I can choose the deal themselves 1 psychic damage, and that will go to Fright Train. So that's kind of nifty in this scenario. The Biomancer, he's kind of nasty, because if there's ever less than 5 villain targets in the field, he plays the top card of his deck. But he has a bunch of targets, as does Greaser and Baron Blade, so that should not be an issue, especially since I actually start out with 8. Actually, it's going to be trouble because there are 8 hero targets. So basically, if there are ever... Oh, it's 5 or fewer villain targets. Never mind. It has nothing to do with how many of me there are. So it probably won't be an issue. Next, we've got Baron Blade. He is nasty in that his device cards are really horrible. He has one that makes it so that you can't use more than 1 power or play more than 1 card a turn. That's probably the worst one. He's got another one that's actually a target and does a bunch of damage. He's got another one that anytime he damages somebody, he makes them discard a card. So he's got some horrible devices, and that advanced ability is kind of a bummer. The being immune to villain damage is not that big a deal with this group. It could be with certain other groups, but here it's not going to be that big a deal. And finally, who is normally my first target on the field, is Ermine. She is annoying. Her advanced ability is she's going to destroy one of my hero ongoing and equipment cards at the beginning of each of her turns. That's horrible. However, because of her challenge mode, she's going to start with Subtle Diversion, which redirects the first damage dealt to her to another player, and Uncatchable, which just negates, I believe, the first damage dealt to her in a turn, and then it destroys that card. So she's going to be hard to deal with, but we'll get that going. So let's go ahead and start the game. They're going to put out all of the cards they start with before the game actually gets going. And then because Fright Train is in the first place, he's going to start dishing out some damage. Oh, that was a nasty one too. It's going to be a while before I can keep any ongoings out with this team, which is a bummer. That's one of his it's a nasty device, but not the worst he can have. There's her Subtle Diversion, redirects damage. Uncatchable prevents damage. She's also got the Constant Babble. Well, that was a good one to start with for him. So you can see that Alright, so here's a nice one. I can play Heroic Interception, which will redirect make all of my other hero targets immune to damage, but the dealing himself 3 damage, he's going to be immune to. Now let's see. The problem is this is an ongoing, so it can be gotten rid of relatively quickly by his started by a message to destroy 2 hero ongoing. So I'm going to lose it by the 3rd guy. It's at the beginning of the turn. So I'm really only going to prevent damage from 1 person. So that's a bummer. But it might actually be worth it just to deal him some extra damage. I could deal him a total of 10 points of damage with Flying Smash, but I think I want to reserve Flying Smash to be able to deal with other people once Fright Train's out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Heroic Interception. Alright, let's go ahead and have him have Tachyon. Actually, sorry, what we're going to do is have him have Fanatic use her ability, which is going to deal her 3 radiant damage, which is going to be redirected. Oh, no, Heroic Interception stops it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and destroy her negation bands. And then it doesn't matter who I select because it's going to be... Oh. Now, let's go ahead and have it redirected to Fright Train. Deal him a little more damage. Then we'll have Tachyon use her ability. Okay. So everybody's going to get a few more powers they can use. The unfortunate thing is that's going to Heroic Interception will prevent this damage, but the damage he does to Legacy won't be able to be redirected or stopped. So, but he is going to deal himself a psychic damage. Send that back to Fright Train. All right. Oh, look at this. We can have everybody draw some more cards. And, I'm going to bank on getting something cool with quick insight. So I'm going to use my lightning reflexes while I can. That'll allow me to use 2 other cards. This one allows me to draw 3 cards, and I'm going to have to discard some. So I'm going to discard Sucker Punch, Nimble Strike, and then I'll use Nimble Strike on somebody who's not going to be, somebody who will actually redirect the damage. Okay. He's now got 2 more Heroic Interceptions. That's interesting. Alright, now unfortunately Heroic Interception's destroyed, so now anybody can take damage. Most annoying thing about him, he regenerates everything, and then, oh, these are all going to take a point of damage, so, which is okay. I want both the Scholar and Fanatic to take damage. Okay, let's see here. I'm actually going to do this. This is, right now, I could use Grace Under Fire, which would deal one of their targets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage. That would all be redirected to Fright Train, which would get him closer to being done, but I'd rather save that. Likewise, I could try to, burn a bunch of them. However, that would end up only healing me 1 point. So I'm going to just draw 5 more cards and end my turn with this. Oh, nice. Gets me another copy of that. That's cool. Okay, so I got some good cards there. All right. This is going to be a bummer. Here are now all of the villains do extra damage. Oh, not sure why that did that. Okay. He's immune to his own damage now because of his ultimate thing. Alright, so he still hasn't put out his thing that prevents me from playing multiple cards, so I'm going to start with team communication. Now, to determine what to do here, we haven't taken enough damage to be worth throwing out a healing card. So what I'm going to do here is play Dark Delusions. That's going to deal all of them 2 points of damage, which will be redirected to Fright Train, and then deal another one of them 3 points of damage, which will be redirected to Fright Train. So that's going to deal him quite a bit of damage here. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that with the redirect damage, if they have something that will negate the damage, that will take place. But if it's just something that resists the damage, that doesn't happen. So this is going to totally cancel out the damage, so it happens. All right. Now here I can determine, do I want one of these other things to take place instead of redirecting to Fright Train? But I'm going to go ahead and have it redirected to Fright Train. And this is going to almost finish him off. That means next round when she uses her power, that will be directed to him and finish him off. Alright, she has us all discard cards, which is not particularly annoying at this stage, but can be. Alright, so I have to be careful here. Oh, here's the card that I want to eventually get to play. And that's, she deals somebody X damage, where X equals her current hit points, or her maximum hit points minus her current hit points. So if you get her down to, like, she starts at 29, if you get her down to 10, she deals somebody 19 points of damage. So it's a pretty nifty card, but it's a dangerous road to get there. Alright, because I want to use her power without dealing damage to herself, I'm going to go ahead and put out Undaunted, despite the fact that it's only going to... Actually, no, let's go ahead and put out... No, I don't want to discard any of these. Yeah, we're going to put out Undaunted. It's not going to last terribly long, but it'll be out there for a little while. So that's redirected to Fright Train, finishing him off. So now he's out of the mix, and we can start targeting other people. I'm going to put that on Dr. Medico. Oh. This don't matter. Vengeful Assault gives it an extra point, so normally that wouldn't deal me any damage with Mainstay's block on, but the Vengeful Assault stopped. Okay, so now we're going to have Legacy use his power to then have heal Tachyon a point and have her use her power. And everybody gets to draw a card. So as you can see, this quickly gets us through. Oh, that's an interesting one. End of Days is an interesting card because it destroys everything on the board. Everything that's not a character card gets destroyed. Or a relic. So there aren't any bad guys who play relics. So that's something to keep in mind if things get out of control on the bad guys' side. If they start really doing a lot of damage and get a lot of extras out here, I can throw out that and destroy all of them. I'll probably wait until Baron Blade puts out one of the his devices that stops us from doing stops us from being able to play multiple cards. And I'll put that out. Alright, let's go ahead and until we get that carbon adept, we're not going to be able to keep out enough. Let's see here. I might be able to put out enough ongoings to actually be able to use some of this stuff. So let's see here. No, I'm not. Okay. This is where we it kind of gets tough to figure out what exactly we want to do, how we want to stack these various things. I believe what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and put out Inspiring Presence. It's probably going to go away relatively quickly, but in the meantime, we're going to deal a little extra damage. So let's go ahead and have Fanatic use her ability here. Oh, nice. We're going to get to destroy an ongoing or a target. So we're going to actually get rid of her subtle diversion, which is a pain. We'll go ahead and get rid of uncatchable. Yeah, all in one swift move. That's awesome. And then let's see here. We'll start working on the Carbon Adept. Baron Blade. And then we'll have Tachyon use her ability to have everybody draw a card. Okay, cool. Now, let's go ahead. Discard 2 cards. Yes, he has 2 cards he can discard. I will rarely use Lead from the front, and I rarely use Next Evolution, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of those. And I'm going to have Greaser play the top card of his deck. Sentinels now have 2 of those. And Vengeful Assault makes that. So it's going to be worthwhile now. They've taken enough damage that throwing out a healing card is actually going to be worth it. This round you're going to see what this team actually can put together as far as this goes. I'm going to go ahead and discard a card. I've got plenty that I don't care if probably will never use. Ooh, that was a bummer. Alright, so we are going to again play Lightning Reflexes. This time, let's see, she has 6 burst cards. So I'm going to be able to play Sonic Vortex and deal 6 of these guys damage. I'm going to start with Biomancer because I want to get rid of his -2. I'm going to hit Ermine because she's my primary target now. I want to get rid of her ability to get rid of all that, all our ongoings. Get rid of Carbon Adept, so he's not going to be able to get rid of Inspiring Presence. And then we'll hit Greaser. Might as well hit Baron Blade. He's got some regenerative abilities, but we're doing enough that might actually do something here. Now this guy deals 1 damage to 3 targets, not a big deal. This one deals the hero target with the highest hit points X energy damage, which X is the cards, and Biomancer's trash. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Let's go ahead and get rid of that guy. Well, it's not going to finish him off, but my second play will, which is Hypersonic Assault. Everybody who takes damage from this will not be able to deal damage until the start of Tachyon's next turn. So this is a big deal. And I was able to get it to where everyone on the bad guy team should take this damage. And we're going to eliminate the Reploblade. And I think at this point we can just let it choose for me. Pompadour, he wasn't able to hurt me because I hurt his Pompadour because he'd already taken damage from the Hypersonic Assault. And we're dealing enough damage to some of these guys that their regenerative abilities aren't going to get them back up to the top, so that's nice. Oh, and we got another hypersonic assault. All right, we've got our now we've got our damage control stuff building up. So this is we're early in the game. We're still on round 2, but I'm confident saying that this game is pretty much in the bag at this point. And we'll see here. You know, this is probably still going to go 2 or 3 more rounds. But we'll see how that turns out. But at this point, I'm relatively confident in round 2 that I've got this in the bag. Let's see, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 targets. That's a pretty decent amount of damage. I could deal with that. But instead, I'm going to play Don't Dismiss Anything. This is going to let everybody else either grab a card from their deck or from their trash and put it on top of their deck, or my favorite is play the top card of their deck. So we're going to do that. We're going to start with Fanatic. Yeah, interesting. Okay. The Sentinels, put the top card. Oh, this is a good one. So deal 4 points there. And we're going to go ahead and do 4 points to the Biomancer, get his damage reduction out of the way, so that if anybody else plays anything cool, that's all right. It's an ongoing thing to suck up any abilities that Ermine might have. Play Tachyon's top card. Nah, that's a bummer, because that's not really going to do me much good, except for it's another ongoing that can be used. And let's see what he gets. Oh, nice. He's Bring What You Need. This is one of his better cards. He gets to look at the top 3 cards of his deck and put 2 of them into his hand. And those were 2 of the best cards that I could have gotten for that. So cool. That was a great turn. Okay, moving on to the Sentinels. Team leader Tachyon gave us a gift here with our unique capabilities. Lets us check our deck for get one of our unique signature cards, then draw a card, then play a card. And you put the signature card into play, so you're really playing 2 cards here. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to put Hippocratic Oath in that. It prevents we prevented the mines from doing any damage. Oh, here's a good one. All right, so now we got to check to see what we're going to play for our next one. I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and use Positive Energy. It's a healing spell, and it does damage to all of the villains. So let's go ahead and play that. Let everybody heal. All right, then do 2 damage to everybody. Actually becomes 3 because of the Inspiring Presence. And if you click, you can kind of speed through this stuff a little quicker if you don't want to necessarily see the animation for all of the damage being done. Okay, and now since we've got Hypersonic Assault going and they're not going to be able to do us damage, we're going to go ahead and use Idealist's power to do a couple more points of damage to Biomancer while his damage reduction is gone. And then, I've got Embolden going, so I'm going to go ahead and heal. And I'm going to throw that at Legacy there. Then at the end of the round, I am going to go ahead and deal Dr. Medico the damage. It's nice having that, being able to use 2 powers. So he'll heal himself with his Hippocratic Oath. And then Idealist, there we go. And she's going to get to destroy a card. We're going to go ahead and destroy Pushing the Limits because it doesn't do anything for us right now. She can't deal any damage, but then after this, these impromptu heists are going to make us destroy some cards. We're going to go ahead and destroy Superhuman Durability because few of them are going to be able to do 5 points or more of damage. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Undaunted. We want her to take damage. Alright, so we got rid of both of those. And let's see, who do we want? Oh, this actually is silly because none of these do damage them. Oh, I guess the 6 Patriota, but she's probably going to be dead soon, so. Alright, we'll see if anybody survives through that. And I don't want to heal right now because I want to be able to use my Wrathful Presence there, or Wrathful Retribution. So I'm going to go ahead and do Censure, hit Ermine with that. Oh, nice. Alright, let's see. Deal myself some damage. Oh, dang it, Absolution healed me a little, but that's okay. So we'll have Legacy go use his power to have Tachyon use her power. And now at this point, she's used her power about 6 times, I think, through the course of this. So we've gotten to the point where we probably have as many cards as we need. So the next time around, when these guys start using their power, they're probably going to have Dr. Medico start healing people. Oh, that was a good one to come up now while they can't. Oh, yeah, that was me dealing myself damage, but that's okay. Alright, at this stage, I'm going to go ahead and use Flying Smash. Try and thin their ranks here. Legacy actually has 2 Nemesis, both Baron Blade and Greaser because of that thing. Let's go ahead. Actually, here we're going to go have Fnatic use her power. Deal herself a little damage here. Oh, alright. Who can we kill with that? We'll go ahead and Clone Ranger. And we'll deal 2 points to Ermine. And we're going to have the Sentinels use a power. So Dr. Medico can go ahead and heal. Get Legacy up there. Alright. Unfortunately, he's not going to take the damage from his Pompadour being recharged, but that's okay. Alright. Oh, there we go. Good. We actually want him to take some damage because he's going to heal a lot here in a minute and start dishing out some dirt to them. Alright, let's see here. I still only have 6 burst cards in my trash, so let's see. Okay. Well, I don't have the ability to use 2 things now, so I'm not sure how good it is to use Hypersonic Assault. No, I'm going to go ahead and use it at this stage. It's not going to hurt Biomancer, so he'll be able to damage people, but nobody else will. So we need to make sure that we hit Greaser first before the Pompadour. But other than that, it doesn't matter what order we do this in. So the Biomancer will be the only person who's able to hurt people next turn because he's not going to be affected by this. I actually don't expect Biomancer to survive much longer. That finishes off Ermine, so we don't have to worry about the losing any of our ongoings from that source anymore. So now we're going to be able to go ahead and put out equipment and ongoings just fine. Oh, very nice. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I thought that was... There's one of the other villains has an ongoing that does that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put a couple of these out. And then have everybody play a card. Let's go ahead and start with Fanatic. Nice. Alright. Alright. Get through the guys who have damage reduction. The Sentinels play next. Oh. So we're going to do 4 points of damage, and then whoever, it doesn't matter who does the damage. And if they have 4 or less at that point, which he will not, he will have 5. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of the displacing teleporter then. Alright, have Legacy go next. Oh, interesting. Tachyon. Oh, puts out her goggles, and then the Scholar. Yes, he did a healing one, so now he's going to get to double up his damage here because he's got 2 of his mortal form to energy out. And Biomancer's his nemesis, so he gets to do some extra damage to him. Excellent. So that was a really good turn. Let's go ahead and finish the Biomancer off. Bam. Another one down. And then we just need to focus on these last 2, get them out of here. So like I said, this game is essentially over. Oh, this just made it a little tougher, but not too bad. So I just need to finish off these things here real quick. Let's see. I don't know that we necessarily need a lot of healing. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead. Alright, we're going to play this horrifying dichotomy. Now, because Dr. Medico has his Hippocratic Oath, he can't deal damage. So you find something that's not going to resist damage, and now he can heal that. So he's going to heal 4 points of damage. We're going to go ahead and throw that on the Scholar. And the Scholar can do 5 points of damage twice. Let's go ahead and just... it's kind of a pain having that device out, but it's better to just eat through Baron Blade's hit points, and then once you've taken him out, the device goes away. So there we are. We're going to go ahead and deal him a little more damage. Now, unfortunately, because the device is out, I can't use a second power. So we're not going to deal them any damage, but then we can do some healing here. Alright, there we go. She's going to make us discard some cards, no big deal. Might actually be good for Tachyon. And we're going to go ahead and skip. We don't need that. It's not required anymore. So we're going to go ahead and deal essentially 12 points of damage here, I believe, to... we'll finish off Baron Blade here. Boom. He's gone. And now, theoretically, depending on what we get here, we could finish somebody, we could finish off Greaser here. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Get some healing going. So at this point, Greaser's not going to get to take another turn. This is just wrap up at this point. So as you can see, this super team, it really had very little trouble with this team, with this bad guy team. We were able to mitigate the the ongoings and equipment being destroyed by just not using them. These guys have enough good one-shots or can put out enough ongoings that the one they really want to have out will stay out. Oh, we're not going to do that anymore. Let's go ahead and have Idealist do some more damage here. Just try and finish him off as quickly as possible. And who knows, we may have the environment draw falling statuary and finish him off. Oh, nope. Each target with at least 5 hit points, 2 damage. And then we're going to take more because most of us have more than 10. All right. Nasty, but not that big a deal. And now we will finish off Greaser with a punch from Legacy. Boom. There you go. Essentially, it took about 3 rounds to... we'd just started the... I guess we had just started round 4 there, I think. But there you go. That is my super team. Greatest... I think world's greatest legacy, team leader Tachyon, the Scholar, the Sentinels, and Prime Warden Fanatic. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. Let me know what you thought of the super team down below in the comments. Let me know if you have your own version of a super team that you think does really well at taking on any comers. Please hit that like and subscribe. Be aware that we are under 10 away from our hitting 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit that, we are going to do a t-shirt drawing to give away t-shirts, 1 per show we have. So my gaming shows between the 2 days that I post will get 1 shirt. Our news will get another shirt. Does It Hold Up, Grizzled Game Master, and our Ruby reaction shows. That's what we've got going on right now. Those are where we're going to draw. All you have to do is watch the video, like it, comment on it, and we'll take all of the comments we got for each video or set of videos, and we will draw 1 random winner. If you don't want to be left out and want to make sure you get a shirt, all of our patrons will be getting one. So go ahead and click the link below and consider signing up to be a patron on Patreon. Anyways, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for the support. It's been great doing this stuff with you guys, and we're looking forward to doing it for a long time to come. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you again next Thursday.